So if we take a look at our list of products and click on a different one that we did not create a variation for, it still has this drop down. Now there's a few ways we can fix this, but the way we're going to actually have it integrated later to the shopping cart is we're going to be going off of variations. So what that means is we need to have a variation for every product no matter what. And if there isn't a variation, we need to have a default variation of some kind, or at least one that's coming through. So to do this, we are going to use a concept called post-save signal. So signals, what signals do is they allow us to make things happen outside the context of our views or our admin. Like in the case of post-save, when the model is saved, so like in the database, if we save the model in the admin, it will actually send a signal saying that it's saved, and we can do all sorts of stuff with it. So let's actually try that out now. I'm going to go ahead and copy the actual path to the post-save signal, and we're going to go inside of our models.py for products, and we're going to import it. So import this post-save signal, and now down underneath variation, I'm going to do post-save.connect, and we want to create a actual signal and receiver function to handle what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to define product saved receiver. So this is a receiver function, and it's going to take in the sender, and it's going to take in instance, created, and then any other args or keyword args. And if you want to know what's being sent with the signal, we'll show you in just a moment. And then right now we'll just print out sender, and we'll print out instance, and we'll print out created. So this name of this function is arbitrary. You can have it however you'd like to call it. But in this case, I've just called it product saved receiver, and instead we should do product post save receiver. And we'll connect it to the product, the actual signal itself. This will connect it. And then the sender, we have to actually write who the sender is or what model is the sender. In some cases, you might use variation or a different model, but for us, we're going to be using product because the product is the main part here. That's the instance that we're going to be working with. So let's go ahead and actually see what this signal does. Notice we've printed out 3 different things here. So if we go into our admin and just save any product, let's make sure the server is running, of course. And we go into products, and we can just save any of them. So MP3 player, we hit save, and we look inside of our terminal. We see 3 different things that come up. First of all is a class, and then that is the sender itself. And then MP3 player, which is the instance, the title from the instance, which is coming from the Unicode data, and then whether or not it's created. So in this case, it was not created. We saved it, and it was just updated, basically. So now what we want to do is we want to check if this product has variations. So if it has any sort of variations whatsoever. Now back in this product detail, we did this object variation set.all. So what this means is if we have our instance, we can get related fields through that instance. So this is a product instance. So I'll set it equal to product equals to instance, just so we know that. So product equals instance. And to get things that are related to this product, they must have some sort of relation. In this case, we have a foreign key relation. So to get variations, I can say variations equals to product dot variation set dot all. And .all is that same sort of query set stuff that we've done with the query set manager. So these things right here. And this right here is the equivalent to saying variations equals to variation dot objects dot filter product equals to product, or the instance that's coming through. So these two are the same. But the nice thing about this is this right here is a reverse relation, so we don't actually need to pull in the product variation at all. So if we leave this out, let's go ahead and just comment that one out, and we'll see that this set is here. And what we want to do actually is get the count of it. So if variations.count is equal to 0, then we want to create a variation. So this is when we'll create an actual variation, and we'll say new var equals to variation, and we'll initialize the class itself. So new var dot product equals to product, so the product instance, right? And then new var dot title equals to default, and then new var dot price is equal to product dot price, because it's going to be going off of the price from the product, and again it is still required, so that's going to be the default price, if you will. And that's it. Then we just want to save it and say new var dot save. Right, so this is actually coming through and making sure that we have variations every time a product is created or saved. Even if it's saved and we didn't add any variations whatsoever, this will make sure that we at least have a default variation set for this particular product. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of all the comments and everything. And now we'll take a look at this in terms of how the other stuff works. So let's go to headphones, and we'll just save this. And now we'll go back into products and variations, and we see now that we have a default variation for headphones. So if I go into products and then click on headphones, I can now see that we have the default in here, which is good. That's what we want to see. We want to see that there's these variations that actually exist and they actually work to a degree that we want. So now that we have this signal set up, I'm going to do one more thing into our product detail. I want to make sure that the count here is greater than 0. So the same thing that we did with the variation set here, I'm just going to say if. So if we have the object set dot all, so we'll say if count is greater than 1, then we will show this select box, drop down. Otherwise, we'll eventually add a button. Right now we're just going to have it being just a empty button that does nothing, and we'll call it add to cart. So now if it only has one variation, it's just going to be add to cart. Of course we would want add to cart on either one, so we can actually get rid of the else clause. So no matter what, we're going to want to have it in add to cart, and we'll just break it out. So MP3 player has variations, and then headphones has no variations, so it's just add to cart. Cool. So if you have any questions on this, let us know. Otherwise, let's keep going.